Welcome back to the channel. I am Saldablerd. If you read the title, this video is gonna be me explaining what I've been going through, why I've been away from the channel, and just talking about my recovery journey and my injury. For those who don't know, I tore my Achilles and I get surgery tomorrow. But before we get into the surgery topic and how I tore my Achilles, I'm just going to give a little bit about my backstory. I'm currently living in Dayton. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. And about 2 years ago, I had my spiritual awakening, and it seemed like my life has been turned upside down. But one thing I always say is when you're favored by God, you're favored by the devil. These last 2 years have been constant trials and tribulations. I've been to this place called Ohio Media School. If you haven't seen that video, I have an Ohio Media School story about everything that happened, where they tried to put fake allegations on my name because I was confronting the school about why I didn't like it. Basically, we had to do weekly reports about the school, and I always would rate them low ratings, and I would give in-depth detail of why. But long story short, a lot of the teachers didn't like me because I spoke my truth, and I let them know that I was going to make a video about my experience there and how I was treated. So they tried to say that I sexually harassed the teacher in order for me to not make the video, trying to intimidate me. And if you watch the video, I got the audio evidence because I actually recorded I guess you could say the dean of the school, where he called me into the office and he told me that if I come back to class, nothing happened. But if I continue to make the video how I plan, he's gonna put these fake allegations out and say that I harassed a teacher, letting it be known that it was blackmailing me. But he did not know I was recording. And of course, nothing happened because he found out I did recording, and he knew that I caught him in a lie. From there, I was homeless because one of the first things that happened when I had my spiritual awakening is God told me to leave my mother's house. I was staying with my mom because they sold my apartment building in Cincinnati, and I moved in with my mom. I was only supposed to be there till the end of the month and go to a new apartment. Long story short, I loaned my mom money and she never paid it back, so I couldn't just leave. And then I ended up staying there month to month, giving her more and more money, loaning her more and more money too, when I would get big sums of money to the point where she owed me thousands of dollars. And that was hindering me from leaving because I'm also paying rent to be there. And the rent that I was paying to be there, she would want absurd amount that was basically me living on my own. So it's like I couldn't really save. And God just told me to leave the situation. So I had left. And after I left, I told her I didn't want the money back. It's all right. And I eventually made a video called The Covenant of Three Witches. In this video, I talk about how I don't know if you can say that word, but you know when kids get diddled, touched as a younger, I don't know if you can say that word on YouTube, but I was touched as a child, let's say that. I was put in situations as a child that I shouldn't have been put in. And the video was just basically me talking about my experiences as a child and how I grew for them and how they made me stronger. But my family took it as an attack, so they started telling people I was schizophrenic. They started telling people that I was a drug addict. They started trying to slander my name so that people wouldn't believe what I was saying in the video, not because I was attacking them, but because how it made them feel. So my mother eventually get me locked into a psychiatric hospital, and I lost my job. I ended up going back to her house because that's my legal residence at the time, because I was staying with her. And after I left the psychiatric hospital, they hooked me up with a case manager. I never had a case manager in my life. And this is how I found out that my mom was getting like benefits from homeless shelters in my name and things like that. Like I went down to the free store food bank for the first time because I needed food, and she was getting food in my name. And she eventually went with me to meet with my social worker. And she told them that I could come back to her house, even though it's my legal residence. And a week later, she called the cops on me again. I have this on audio evidence too. And basically, she's telling the cops she don't know why I'm there, I'm crazy, and I'm a drug addict and all of these things. And the cop basically tell her that this is my legal residence. She can't make me leave. If she want me to leave, she got to go downtown and file a eviction notice, basically. And this is like towards the end of 2024, coming into 2025, like December. I remember Christmas, my family all got together and counted me out. They didn't invite me, but they all got together and spent the holidays together. I haven't been close to my family ever since I had my spiritual awakening. And I understand why. Like, it taught me a lot about how to rely on self, and just family is the people you have love for, the people that have love for you. But I've looked at family different, but this taught me what family really was. Like, my mother, my sisters, my cousins, they're not necessarily my family, they're my relatives because we share that blood. Growing up, they would always tell me blood is thicker than water. And I used to take that seriously until I realized that even my friends bleed blood. And sometimes a friend can be so much closer to you than your actual family. Sometimes a stranger can be so much kinder to you and show so much more love and compassion than your actual family, the people that we call our family. So as I'm going through this process, it made me mature and realize family is the people that I accept to be my family, not necessarily the relatives that I was born with. And so eventually my mom get mad because the cops not siding with her. And I'm not going to tell the whole story about what happened there because I have a video on it. And also the Covenant of Three Witches, that video I did delete, but I'm going to remake it. And it's going to be updated with all the new stuff that happened since my spiritual awakening, in conjunction with the things that happened to me as a child. But at the end of December, my mom kicked me out again illegally. Basically, she started taking the Wi-Fi because when I lost my job, I got an iPhone. I could still use my phone to do things. I make music, I do social media, but she didn't want me to be able to do anything, so she started taking the Wi-Fi box when she left out. So I couldn't look for jobs, so I couldn't use my phone, or so I couldn't do anything. So I started going to the library. One day I went to the library and she locked me out when I came back, and it started to storm. I was outside in the storm. I was calling her, knocking on the door, just asking, can I get my stuff? She wouldn't give me my possessions, so for almost a month, all I had was a pair of pants I had on, the hoodie I had on. I couldn't get my coats. I couldn't get anything out the house. I remember one night, I had a friend pick me up after being outside for a couple nights, and when I got to my friend's house and ate, well, before I ate, I literally fainted through my fan table because I was so fatigued and hungry. And so this goes on for about a month or two, and I found this place in Cincinnati called The Rest. Once I get to The Rest, they tell me about this place in Dayton that they can send me to. It's a rehabilitation program for people that suffer from drug and alcohol abuse and things like that. I was having trouble getting into facilities in Cincinnati because I don't consider myself an addict. The only thing I ever done was marijuana, and I smoked marijuana and I drank liquor. But I'm 32 now. Around the age of 27 is when I started to change my life. I stopped drinking on my own because I realized that I come from a family of alcoholics, and the main reason I drank was just to fit in with everybody. It was like a social thing. I didn't really like liquor, so within them 2 years of all of this happening, I probably had a couple drinks socially, but I already was stopping drinking, and I wasn't smoking as much. I remember I wasn't able to get in none of the facilities in Cincinnati because when they're talking to me, they asking me, am I crazy? They asking me all of these questions, and I'm telling them I'm mentally stable. They're like, why don't you have a job? I'm trying to explain to them that it's hard to get a job when you are filthy, you have no transportation, you have nowhere to lay your head, you have nowhere to bathe. And it's like they didn't want to help me because I wasn't an alcoholic or I wasn't a drug addict. But basically The Rest, they told them that I did drugs. And I eventually went to go smoke marijuana so that I can pass the drug test. Because I don't have a problem with marijuana, I smoked it. And at the time, I wasn't even smoking marijuana. And I just went to go get high so that when I went to go take the drug test, I would fail it. I got to the change agency, which was the place they sent me to in Dayton. When I got there, I noticed that they treated me a lot different than the other addicts because I truly wasn't an addict and I moved different. Long story short, I met this guy that had a business, and his business was called Toe Tag Key Tag here in Dayton. And he, I guess you could say, was a retired street guy. That's what he proclaimed himself to be. But I noticed that everybody was warning me not to work with him. Like he basically giving me the heads up. But I needed some money because I was doing my social media thing in order to invest into myself. And at the time, I'm new to the city, still trying to get all of my identification. It's something I could do under the table to get money. When he realized the things I did online, he would do like, I'm real familiar with psychology and manipulation and things like that because of just how I was brought up and the people I've been around in my life. So he would do things to try to get me to lower my confidence. Like he saw that I did social media, and he would ask me questions, and then he act uninterested, like ignore me, like call somebody while I'm talking, or just walk away and stuff like that. But he was so interested, even though he acted uninterested, that he wanted me to do what I was doing for myself for him. So he would often be like, "Oh, can you do a video like you be doing so for my shirts and stuff like that, so I can sell my shirts online?" And so he would want me to invest my time and energy into his business. And his business mainly was landscaping and junk removal. That's what I was working with him to do. But he also started wanting me to work on his social media. And it got to the point where he wasn't paying me. So I was taking notes and all that stuff. And it got to the point where he also works for the rehabilitation, the drug and alcohol place, where people go to rehab. When you're around him, all he talk about is drugs. All he talk about is alcohol. All he talk about is all his street accolades, how he stuffed babies in the oven, how he used to rob people and all of this stuff. Like he flashing guns to me. He's showing me firearms and all of this stuff. So eventually get to a point one day where he was trying to show me a video and how he wanted me to do something for him. And I treated him like he treated me because the thing is, when he ignored me and stuff like that, it doesn't matter to me because I'm truly confident in self. And that stuff don't bother me because I know I got stuff going on. So I did the same thing to him, that mirror principle. When I mirrored his energy to him, he got upset. He got, how narcissist is. He got all in his feelings. He started being like, "I thought we were boys and all this stuff like you was like that." And I tried to explain it to him like, I'm just treating you how you treat me. Just like you have no interest in the things I got going on when I try to show you my music or when I try to show you my content, you don't want to show no attention. So why would I be showing attention to the things you got going on? Like I told him, I'm here to do the junk removal. I'm here to do yards. I'm here to work. I'm not here to help you pursue your personal dreams and to work for your personal company. And he would always tell me like, "Yeah, you like my right hand man as long as you stay with me when you move up to the next program, because in the recovery program, the first step you don't pay. It's more about you getting everything you need and getting grounded, and then as you move up and get work, you started to pay." And he was telling me how if I'm working with him, I wouldn't have to pay rent and things like that. Basically trying to win me over and show how me being around him is beneficial. So he get mad at me because I'm not interested in what he got going on. And I told him, like, it's nothing personal. I don't have a personal problem with you. Like, I mean, we can still do work, but I'm not here to stroke your ego. I'm not here to validate you, and I'm not here to be used. So he started calling me, setting up appointments to do stuff and spending me and things like that. He picked me up a couple times, didn't pay me again. So I went to the actual agency and I filed a grievance on him. I told him everything that happened. And when I'm talking to the owner of the change agency, he told me that, well, them were allegations. I can't prove that he showed you guns or none of that stuff. And I told him the exact guns that he showed me. And he always would tell me that, George is my best friend, the owner of the change agency. Like that's my brother. Like his sister is a judge. So he felt like he was untouchable already. He would go to the office, cuss out other people. He's like, everywhere he goes, like this big cloud of negativity. Like it's supposed to be a positive place where people get their life together. He cussing out people. Like it's literally one guy in the program that I was kind of fine with. I talked to, and he had relapse. And he telling me why he relapsed. And he told me like the day that he came in there in the middle of our class, and he was like, basically, I'm not gonna tell his business, but he embarrassed him in front of everybody in the facility. Cussing him out, calling him a freaky guy, and just all type of names. And that weekend, that guy relapsed. And a lot of people that are around him relapse because he disrespect people, he put people down, people that are already in vulnerable situations because they truly are suffering from drug addiction and they truly are not mentally stable. It affects them a lot more than it affects me. And so he use and abuse these people. And he go back to the agency, and once he done with them, he talked down on them. So I'm like trying to get this point across to George, like all of these people relapsing that's around him, all of these people got bad reputations that's around him, but y'all never take the time to wonder why is that? What is he doing? Like y'all take his side of anything, and once he say somebody bad, y'all just look at them like they're bad seed. But in all reality, he using and abusing these people, and y'all enabling that. And so he told me that the work that you did with the shirts and the social media stuff, that's not part of the contract. I let him know, like, it never was no contract. You just let these people that work for the company, that are peer supporters and that are counselors, you let them come get them to do personal work for them. We never signed no contract. And some of the shirts that I was selling was for your personal business. He said this is for the change agency and toe tag, key tag. So I'm doing this and I'm going back and forth, and I tell him, like, you know what, I'm gonna be blessed regardless. I don't want no money from y'all, and I leave. But the only reason I end up even talking to him is because after I filed the grievance, it was a whole week, nobody said nothing to me. And finally, the lady that handles the grievance, she's a lady in the office that's a nurse, but she, like, is the highest person in the office, and she handles all the paperwork, all of the stuff like this. She had to come and talk to me. And long story short, they're actually in a relationship. The toe tag, key tag guy and the lady that is the nurse, they were in a relationship, but they were split up. So when I talked to her, I'm telling her everything that happened, and she found out he cheating, because, like, I tell him, like, all he do is hire these crackhead girls to come clean his house so he can feel like a player. Like, he offered me to sleep with him and stuff like that. He's like, yeah, if you want to smash one of them, just let me know. Like, I'm not interested in it. I'm not trying to smash no crackhead. And, like, even these women that are around him are relapsing. Like, he's a very show-offy type guy. I remember one job I did with him, and there was a couple other guys with him. He talking to one of his friends at the gas station, and so he decided he want to pay us in front of everybody. So, like, in the neighborhood, he looked like that guy. Like, he like, yeah, y'all come over here. And then he started passing out like $50 bills to everybody, like, as they go into the store. Like, he's just like this big baller or whatever. And I said something to him about that. Like, don't do that ever again to me. Like, I ain't no flunky. Like, if you want to give me my money, you give me my money. Like, you can Apple Pay me or something like that. Like, don't try to boost your ego with me, because I ain't that guy. And so he did that, and I know how you move. Like, you say you used to be in the streets, but it's these sketchy people coming over. It's these sketchy guards. I am from the streets. You saying you ain't doing it, but you doing it. I know you like to pay people in front of people just so you can feel like the man, but when certain people come around, you got to go in the back of the house to do certain things. Or when these crackhead ladies come to clean your house, you got to pay them in private. Why is that? Why is that? But it's like I'm bringing this stuff out, and so as I'm talking about it, she like, what do you mean other women? Like, because when I came to the company, they actually was just split up. They got different houses, but she would still always be at his house because I'm with him every day, so she would still always be there. And she would usually come after he sent the ladies away. And so she didn't know about everything that's going on. So after we talking the whole story, she feel bad because she basically told me that he was telling her total opposite stuff and basically ran my name through the dirt. And so she decided to tell me about this other company that's in the umbrella of the change agency. It's basically part of the change agency, but it's a different agency. And it's a girl that worked at the change agency that is the owner of it, I guess, or whatever. So she talked to her, and they get me to go there because she say that she know that it's going to be a target on my back here when I move up, because I was in the process of getting ready to go up to the next step. So I go over to 11 Heart. And when I get to 11 Heart, it's a lot of similar people, but it's different. It's this guy. He is the group leader at 11 Heart. And he also was my peer supporter when I first got to the change agency. His name is Mr. B. And me and Mr. B were kind of cool at first, but he's the type of person that feels like he's above everybody because of his ways, and he wants everybody to be like him. Like, he's a vegan, so he always telling everybody, like, oh, you should do this, you should do that. He's a Christian, and oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. Like, he think that everything that he do is the righteous way, and it's got to be his way. So I never got along with him because me being spiritual, I understand that God doesn't only bless Christians. There's blessed Muslims, there's blessed Christians, there's blessed Hindu people. It's not about the religion you claim. It's about truly walking with God. And I got a video that is deleted now, but I'm going to remake it called the religious spirit with no love. You got a lot of people that claim religion but don't have no love in their heart. Because when you truly got that love in your heart, you can accept people from different religions, especially when they move in godly. But you don't even want to see that when someone says something different than what you believe in, because you're not in the religion for the faith. You're in the religion like it's a cult, like you follow it blindly and you use it for validation. And so he always told himself like, yeah, like I'm just this great peer supporter, and like you gotta start coming to church with me, and you gotta start eating better, and like taking me to Whole Foods and stuff like that, like trying to get me to shop organic like him. And it's like, bro, I'm my own person. I'm walking my own path. And it's like, not that I don't accept when people give me beneficial information, but just because you think it's beneficial to me don't mean that I have to accept it. And if you can't accept that, then we're going to have problems, because I accept people for who they are. I don't try to make people become what I want them to be in order to treat them kindly. And so he always talk about how he never stand up his people. If he has something to do, he make sure he let you know, and all of this stuff that he's just talking about. And so one day he stood me up, and the next day I stood him up. The mirror effect. I did exactly what he did to me, but when he did it to me, I didn't text him, I didn't blow his phone up, I didn't care. I went to go play basketball. He hit me up, texted me long messages like, oh, I'm so sorry for yesterday and all that stuff, like I shouldn't have stood you up and all that stuff, basically because I did the same thing to him, and I didn't respond because I'm a man, and when it comes to other men, I don't really be into all the emotional texting and long messages trying to go back and forth, and so I ignored him. He started texting me again, like, are you cool, are you alright, and all this stuff, and I ignored him. And I saw him at the office, and he said something to me, and I responded to him, like, I don't got a problem with you, like, I let him know, but, like, I just don't really vibe with you. So, when I get to the agency, he there, and it's like, I ended up tearing my ACL, and I had to miss group, and I let them know I'm being transparent, and a lot of people there already view me a certain type of way. So, when I first got there, and I'm missing classes, but I'm letting them know why, because I'm not able to get out the bed. I'm not able to walk. And so they talking about, it's okay. I start asking them, can he do Zoom calls with me, because they do be doing Zoom calls, having guest speakers and all that stuff, but whenever I would text him, he wouldn't respond until after group, and then he'd be like, oh, my bad. And then one day I asked him some questions, like basically like trying to make a way for me to still be part of group. And so I texted him, like, you're such a good leader and all that stuff, like you always respond on time and give great information. And he was like, I'm so sorry, I just didn't text back because I didn't know what to say. And so like I just didn't respond. And I'm like, if I go talk to the owner, they tell me to talk to him. When I talk to him, he tell me to talk to the owner husband. So it's like, y'all saying that I'm not communicating, but every time I try to communicate, y'all tell me to go to somewhere else, or y'all just don't respond to me. So eventually I started coming back to group, and I missed a couple more times because I have doctor's appointment and everything. Like I tore my ACL. And so as of 2 days ago, Monday, they tell me that they no longer want me there and I gotta leave. And I got a surgery scheduled for Friday, so now it's like I might be homeless again. But luckily I found another program to go to. But even while I was there, when I first tore my ACL, there was a guy there telling me that he got no killers in Dayton and all this, like basically trying to be aggressive with me after I tore my ACL. Before I tore my ACL, this guy wouldn't look me in my eye. He never said nothing to me. We never communicated. But once I tore my ACL, he started acting tough around the house and stuff like that. And it's like, it's not that I'm scared, but at the same time, I'm supposed to be trying to better my life, and I'm not trying to get into nothing that's going to mess up what I got going on. So one day he asked me a question. I asked him, did he eat my food, because we're the only two people there. And it's like, he always dirtying up the house and stuff like that, and then they want everybody to clean it up. And I keep telling them, like, when I first got there, the house was so filthy, I didn't even feel comfortable. And I'm like, it's only two people in here. This guy goes and he will destroy the whole place. He leave the mop in the kitchen sink with the dishes and all type of weird stuff. And so like, it'd be like that for a week, because if I cook, I wash the dishes right afterwards. If I go to the kitchen, I clean up right afterwards. So I'm telling them, like, I'm not about to keep cleaning up after a grown man. And so I asked him, did he eat my food? And he got mad at me and all that stuff, and he threatened me. And so I said the same thing back to him, and he like, is that a threat? I'm like, was it a threat when you said it to me? I'm just repeating what you said to me. He like, man, I don't know who you talking to. I know killers and day, and I'll get you done and all that stuff. And I'm like, okay, bro. And so he go run upstairs before I can even get upstairs because I'm crippled. And he go tell the house lead that I'm threatening him. And they come down there and talk to me, and I explain what happened. The next day, he say something to me in the kitchen again, and it happened again. And that's when he told me like he'd kill me or whatever. So I tell the owner of the house, and she basically did not care. She ain't say nothing about it. But it's like, I'm actually going through stuff, and I'm being attacked here. I'm being treated different. Like, even one day in group, like, I let it be known, like, ever since I entered these programs, it's like, when they come to me, everybody got a problem because I am a strong-willed person. Like, I'm not the type of person that's going to wear a mask. I'm not trying to fit in with everybody. So sometimes I will just be on my own, and I will just do my own thing. And they all like, well, it's just because you're so hard to talk to, and you kind of intimidating. Like, we don't know what to say to you. I'm like, I'm an open book. Like, if you scared to talk to me, or even when I communicate with you, if you feel like you don't want to communicate with me because I'm not willing to play stupid games, like I'm not willing to call another man a B and be called a B. I'm not willing to do childish things. So people rather stay away from me because I walk with a certain type of integrity. And so I'm not willing to stroke the counselor's ego in order for them to like me or fit in, or for me to fit in with them, so they choose not to deal with me. Like, when I first tore my ACL, I was maybe 3 miles away from the house, and I'm calling everybody in the programs, the people that say that they're here for us. If we ever need anything, call them. They all denied to come get me. I had to crawl to an Uber just to get to the hospital. After I got to the house and I got my boot on and all that stuff, when it got to the point where I was able to walk again, not like just walk, I still had to have this and I could barely walk, like I'm just limping around, but I couldn't get no help to no stores or anything. So I'm literally walking to the store. I remember one day I'm walking to the store in the rain. They pulled up past me, said something to me, and kept driving. Like, they purposely would do stuff to make it known that they don't mess with me, but at the same time tell me how much they mess with me and they there for me. And so I go into surgery tomorrow. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little nervous. Like, this whole month, because it's been 3 weeks since I tore my ACL. I've been praying that I didn't need surgery. I got my MRI last Friday, and I do need surgery. It's like I can go without surgery, but it's a higher chance of me re-rupturing my Achilles, and the healing process might be longer. And it's just safer for me to get surgery because I'm younger, and it boosts the chances of me healing. It boosts the healing speed, and it just boosts the chances of me not ever having to re-rupture my Achilles. But it's like, I'm so nervous because maybe it's because I'm losing control, because you gotta get put to sleep. I never been through a surgery, and it's like all the other things I'm going through at the same time with having to get this surgery. Like, I don't have no family I can call. I don't have no friends I can call. Then I'm gonna be out of work. Like, I can't go to work, so it's like I'm not gonna be making any money, and it's just like stressful. But I don't let stress get to me, and that's a good thing about me. I always think about the bright side of things and think things gonna work for me, and they usually do. So I'm not gonna let it stress me out. I joined a Facebook group recently for people that went through similar injuries, and there's a lot of supportive people in there. I got a lot of insight on how things go, and my nerves are kind of calm now. But also, anything that I talked about in this video, as far as the religious spirit with no love, the backstory on my upbringing, the covenant of three witches is what I called it, but basically how I grew up and the things I've been through. If y'all are interested in them topics, let me know in the comments, and I will re-upload them videos, newer videos, and I will make content around that. But also, I'm going to start posting here a lot more, and I'm going to post my recovery journey. If you're not following me on Facebook, I will leave my Facebook and the link in the description of this video. Follow me on Facebook. That's where I'm most active and where you can contact me. Also, if you would like to donate, I will have my donation links in here. I just started a GoFundMe. I got PayPal. I got Cashapp. And please like and subscribe this video. I will be vlogging this whole recovery journey from week 1 to week 2 to week 3 until I'm back walking, until I'm back exercising. Like, my goal is to get back to basketball by next summer because I truly do love basketball and it brings me peace. And I don't know if you know this, I'm 6'4". I used to pride myself on being athletic, being able to dunk. If I was never able to dunk again, that would destroy me. So that's one more reason why I really want to get this surgery, because I want to get back to my athletic prime while I'm still a little younger. Like, I'm not the youngest person in the world, I'm 32, but I still got some good years under me as far as athleticism goes. And I want to try to get back as close as I can to my peak. I want to lose some weight, and I just want to better my life. Like, I'm trying to get out of this recovery center stuff because I need a place of my own. Like, I need my own home where I can be at peace and where I can focus on my creativity, because one thing about me is I'm a very creative individual. I make music, I make content. I'm usually a fun, upbeat guy, but I've been going through so much these last 2 years. I barely smile. I don't play around as much as I used to. I don't even have fun. Like, I don't remember the last time I had fun. Like, I am a gamer. I love anime. I haven't played the game in years. Like, I sold my PlayStation back in 2023. Like, I plan on making a Twitch, playing video games and stuff like that. I haven't gamed in so long, and that's something I miss. Like, I want to get back to that. I don't know who dog this is, but a random dog just ran up to me. But it's probably gonna be the end of this video. I'm gonna try to see who dog this is. Peace and love to you all. I hope you all are blessed and in good health. And if you'd like to donate, that link will be below. I probably was just talking for 5 more minutes and I didn't even realize this dog ran up on me. I don't know who dog it is, but it's a nice dog. And they turned my camera off and I didn't realize it, but I just want to say peace and love to you all. I don't remember what the last 5 minutes of me talking about was. I'm not going to try to recreate it. I guess it just wasn't meant to be. If the video turned off, that is why. But again, if you'd like to donate, the links will be in the description. And please come follow me on Facebook. I'm on the road to 20K. And please like, share, and subscribe to this. And even if you can't donate, still visit the GoFundMe, share it, like it. Maybe someone will. Now let's get this YouTube channel to 1,000, please, so I can get monetized. Peace and love, kings and queens. It has been nice.